The remix. They did a remix for the 20th anniversary for Beyonce's B-Day album, which was 2006. So they did a remix to Morning Dew, and it's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? It re-energizes the record. It's a different feel. They sampled Chief Keef, you know what I mean? Then they also sampled Ozzy Brothers. You should definitely listen to it. It's a good little jam.
Will do. You know, I was I liked Beyonce. Not that I don't like her now, but I loved her music in that day, back in that day. The B-Day album, and yeah. Mm-hmm. Most definitely, I will check that out. I need to check out more stuff. You know, you seen what I was just listening to. I just into
people need to really understand that the classics still, you know, it still translates. Like we need more of that. We need more of that. We need more of people exploring our classics because, you know, it's just that's how we keep going. That's how we keep the future going. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how we make sure things don't fall apart.
That's how we make sure things don't fall apart. Yeah, we kind of kicking it off real quick. If it wasn't already apparent, I'm looking at right here. My brother is crazy. If it wasn't already apparent, Joe Budden is never going to rap again.
Never.
Right. He's not picking back up.
Oh man.
In Joe fashion, if people don't know, he has created Crime in America, a new true crime series, where he will be going to the individual communities and checking out, you know, true crime stories, meeting with the local reporters, doing things like that. And of course, it's just an extension of his media footprint.
Right.
What do you think?
I love it. Joe Budden, true crime. That sounds like a win, an automatic win. And then you add the legendary, the watch every episode of Law and Order known to man, Dick Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
The legend at any level of crime and just telling the stories. Come on. So you know, like these are the first things that I thought about when he talked about the true crime. I was excited about Dick Wolf. I'm not a true crime fan, but there's been a lot of my friends love true crime. They've been trying to get me into it for years. You know what I mean? So I'm going to tap in now. The Joe Budden show will be my introduction to true crime. You feel what I'm saying?
It's always been dope. You know, we've all seen, I don't know how much Law and Order. You know, it's always been a thing. And not just Law and Order, Unsolved Mysteries. What am I thinking about? America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, America's Most Wanted. Yeah,
America's Most Wanted. You know, always a thing. All the movies, everything. Yeah, there's a lot to be said about that. Most definitely. I'm glad that he didn't go the Netflix route or the Hulu route.
Right.
Is Hulu still a thing?
I still have it for the Wu-Tang story.
I'm glad he didn't do that though. It's he's gonna put it on YouTube. He's gonna put it on Apple. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
He's gonna shake the game to pair with somebody who's already a legend at putting together stories, at telling the true crime in energy. But then you have Joe Budden who asks the questions that nobody wants to ask a lot of the times. And I'm saying in his podcast world, he always comes up with these questions or these angles that people don't think about. Right. I think him moving into the true crime world, it's going to insinuate even more of that to where it's like, nah, let's get to the real shit. And especially for the episodes or the necessary crimes that are close to us in our Black community or even in hip hop.
Now that's the question. How much of that is he going to hit on?
Okay.
When you're dealing with true crime, I mean, there's crime going on everywhere.
Right.
And he's thinking about traveling to these places to, you know, actually put in the work to do some type of investigative journalism in
Right.
the whole process. So yeah, everybody's wondering, like, are these going to be any hip hop stories? Are we going to be, looking at?
Man, it can't not be. It got to be a couple of those. But even on top of that, like, how close in time frame are we to these certain types of stories? Because even like now, like, how soon will we get the Noah Wells story? If that's a thing. And I'm not saying right now. I'm saying when the Noah Wells case is all said and done, however that turns out, good or bad, how soon do they tackle that from when it ends? You get what I'm saying? Because there's some stories that are probably a year or not a year, but I'm gonna say like 2-3 years old. Like, are you only doing unsolved cold cases, or are you doing like cases that just have left the threshold? You know what I mean? Of whatever is solved or not. You know what I mean?
Maybe the true stories behind a lot of these Law and Order episodes that we've seen over the years.
Yeah,
you might do that route.
Right.
Who knows? Like, it's coming up. This coming Tuesday is the debut of. Let's check out the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. I mean, if you want, I don't know if it's it might be a copyright thing, but I would love to watch it live on live stream. But you know how it goes.
Well, we're gonna play it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed with true crime.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
I've been watching it, reading it, and following cases for years. I came up on Law and Order, SVU, New York Undercover, all of it.
Fire, shots fired. Big shot back.
These shows made me look at crime stories differently. Not just what happened, but how it happened, who it would affect, and what it said about the world.
A gruesome story leads off our newscast.
And now I get to partner with Wolf Entertainment, the mind behind Law and Order, Headline Studio, and Advanced Local, to bring you something brand new. Every week, I'm talking with Advanced Local's reporters on the ground across the country, the people closest to the facts and the people closest to the story.
Joe, I'm here at the scene where police have been investigating throughout the evening.
I'm not just making another true crime show, telling you the same story everybody else is telling. I'm bringing you true crime in real time. So whether you're as obsessed with true crime as I am, you love Law and Order, or you're just a fan of what I've been doing these past few years, then this show is for you. Crime in America with Joe Budden comes out next Tuesday. Find it on Patreon, YouTube, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So he did mention Patreon, which means it won't be everywhere, but at least not every episode.
Well, the one thing that stood out to me, right? One thing that stood out to me was when he said, covering these stories in real time. So that's what pegged the question for me. Oh, you're doing things that are fairly recent. You know what I mean? That might be a real thing, because if you're covering something that's happening in real time and you're asking the questions or following up on things that are accurate, like let's take, for instance, and not to veer off too much, but I do want to mention this. There was a break in the Noah Wells case. There was some audio that was put from display. I don't know how they found it, but it was some audio about what was happening on the boat that day, right? And there was an audio engineer. I forgot her name, but I need to find her name because I want to shout her out. But it was an audio engineer that she just does things for TV and film. She naturally does things for TV and film. She got a hold of the audio from YouTube. She downloaded it, and she did a little bit of EQing and just bringing out the brightness of the audio. And now she submitted that audio back online. You can hear exactly what's being said on that audio. Exactly what's being said. And it's a whole frenzy now, because now, she went on Willie D's podcast, and she expressed like, hey, the equipment that I got, I just did this on Logic. I just did a little bit of EQing and a little bit of like taking out some noise with like X noise or X hum. And she was able to get a clear, crisp audio of what was there. and she like all of the police stations and all the FBI, they have way better equipment than I have. So if I can do this, they should be able to do this and be able to use this as evidence. And it shocks so many people, like, you know, the lady Nancy Grace, and, you know, now they're trying to kind of like backslide because now the audio is out and you can hear every word. So things like that happening in real time, that somebody can come and do a little bit of investigating and add to the case. If Joe Budden does any level of that, he will be winning Emmys upon whatever awards you're supposed to be winning. He will win multiple of them.
I think add to the case is the key element there. Yeah, add to the case. If you're just talking shit and, you know, just, you know, making a muck of things,
right?
We're not really fucking with that. But it does sound dope. One could interpret in real time as just ongoing cases, which again could still mean things from years and years and years ago.
Right.
So it is interesting to see what it's going to be. You know, he's been setting this up for a while. For a long time. I mean, from what I hear, he's a real, you know, buff. He's a real, you know, true crime buff. And my thing is, like, with true crime being so big and not a lot of urban, you know, or black representatives in true crime, perspectives, right? This can really be a big thing. This could be a big thing, and I really hope that it's being done right. Which I don't have no doubts on whether it's going to be done right. But like you said, the approach of how they're going to tell the stories or do the show, I would love to hear tidbits that I haven't heard before. So I'm anxious to see how this comes out, because Joe Budden already the top hip hop podcast in the world. Let's just be honest. Yeah. Top in the world. And then you go to true crime and you got the top show in the world. That's a possibility. One thing that's also interesting is he is always inclusive of, or let me not say inclusive, but cognizant of catering, and again, not catering, but, you know, making sure that his content and how he approaches is friendly to women. For sure. And, who loves true crime more than, you know, women? Women love it. Exactly. I think this right here is where he made the decision to actually do it.
Here's my question for y'all. With the Menendez shit going on, boy, they bodying this shit. With the Aaron Hernandez show, I've asked this before up here. Y'all don't think there's something wrong with America's romanticizing of monsters?
I'm about to hit you with this mug.
Why?
I say this shit all the time. I find that shit nuts that everybody falls in love with the killers and the docs and the.
See, that's a separate point from what I'm saying, because we do stand on opposite side of docs. I know how you feel. You know, well,
not just the doc.
That's what I'm saying.
The killers.
There are people that fall in love with the killers, but I don't think that we're included.
I'm talking about,
or the average person. I'm
talking about the romanticizing. I've seen a million Menendez brothers docs, 2020s, and news stories.
Yeah.
Since 1991.
What they are showing now is a miniseries.
Yes.
Of
like Dahmer.
Beautiful actor. Yeah, the same Dahmer.
Ted Bundy, same shit.
Aaron Hernandez, like the miniseries portion of it. Not docs. That can be informative. But to make a miniseries is like, oh, man.
It's a little crazy.
I mean, I see.
For the miniseries to be the way that these companies gain all of these hours of retention on their platforms, so you just go about continuing. And I'm a sucker for it. I click it every time. But there is something sick about it, especially when you look at what's happening in real life with the news, with music.
I disagree, because a person like me, I don't like docs, but I might want to hear about this story. The miniseries is easier for me to watch. It's an easier watch for me. I can than the actual
because to a certain
Yeah.
extent it's fictionalized for
entertaining.
you.
It's entertaining. It's more entertaining.
It's more entertaining.
I don't like.
That's a bad word, but it is what it is.
Dog, Winning Time was entertaining.
Right.
There are plenty of stories that can be entertaining that don't have to
But
be.
these are famous stories. Like I've heard about the Menendez brothers. I remember people making comments and references to the Menendez brothers. I don't know the full details of what happened.
I don't like.
I never knew, and I don't watch docs, so I've never watched a doc that broke it down.
But it didn't start with docs. Like America's like, lust for blood and mayhem.
America's got a thing for this gangster shit, but I think that was him actually brainstorming and finally coming to, okay, this is what I'm gonna do with this idea, because he's been wanting to do the true crime forever.
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right, because even for me, it's like I kind of agree with Ice. Like for me, I'd rather watch a mini series than watch the actual like documentary. Only because I feel like the director or the creators of the miniseries wants to give a certain perspective of the actual miniseries and not necessarily the whole entire truth. Because for me, it's more so the thought of it, the thought of the incident. That's why I like Law and Order, because they take the real actual events and then they dramatize it to come from the perspective of either the system of the court or the system of the police. So that's why I like that. But at the same time, if Joe can do this show and initially impact these cases, that would be a super win for him. And I would actually love to continue to forever watch it if it's doing that. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just see clips. I don't actually watch Joe Budden that much at all. Love them as an MC. Most definitely love them as an MC.
The show is great. I watch the show in clip form, like when they do mostly shorts. If I do watch a whole episode, it's because I'm cleaning up or doing something while I just want something on. But it's a great show because it reminds me of natural social conversation in a household or in a public place, like how we used to do. That's what it reminds me of. So that's why I don't mind playing it, because it's not just about hip hop. It's not just about political stuff. It's not just about sex. It's not just about, social. It's literally, it's every conversation you would have with your best friends. You get what I'm saying? So
I do. And that's one thing that turned me off about it when I would listen to it back in the day, because I just felt like it's a bunch of inside jokes that I don't get. So
right. But you have to watch more of the show to eventually figure out what those inside things are, which is equivalent to a conversation that we would all have. So I do want to do this. I do want to shout out the professional audio engineer who isolated that audio for the Noah Wells case. Her name is Janetta Brantley. Janetta Brantley, shout out to you, sis, because you did that, and you did naturally what somebody in the profession would do. If there's some audio, like, and I'm not saying that I've done it before for a case of this magnitude, but I have done it for artists or creators who had an old recording or something that they had a recording that they wanted to spruce up the audio to make it at least good enough to place it somewhere. Somebody has passed away and they had an old acapella or old song, and I was able to recreate it to make it sound better, add it to a beat. There was a point in time where Big Y, rest his soul, one of his good friends that was in jail, he was on the Banging on Wax project. What was his name? I forgot his name, but he was on the second Banging on Wax project. But anyway, he was in jail at the time, and he sent over some acapellas of some songs that he did just acapella, and we were able to match, you know what I'm saying? I spiced it up, made it sound good, and we matched it up to beats to where he actually had some music to put out. You know what I'm saying? And you do things like that as an audio engineer because it's always about trying to get the sound quality where it needs to be. So for her to listen to that audio and immediately go into work mode, like, oh, let me isolate this. Let me isolate this noise from this audio so you can hear it That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I love that. So shout out to Janetta Brantley. She did her thing. Shout out to her for sure.
And a lot of people do it just as creative, just to keep your sword sharp, you know, as a creative. Like, you know, I was just plenty of times I just, you know, took a clip when I'm bored, ain't got, you know, no project going on, or, you know, or even when I do, and, you know, I'm just in between, you know, thought processes of it. Just take a clip and make it sound like somebody else, like they said something else, you know, re-edit it, like, and just make it sound like it's something else, or take a photo, you know, that I might not think is, you know, correctly toned, and just tone it on up. Like, right.
And then, you know, just to be clear, just to separate the two, what she did was just take out the background noise so you can hear the real audio. She didn't modify anything else. But I just want to make sure that the fans understand that what you're saying creatively is different from what she did, you know, naturally as a professional. She just wants to hear everybody to hear the audio clear. But yeah,
definitely, because also what she did is something that means something. So I'm just talking about, you know, having fun with my brain. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, I think this, you know, let's just talk about, you know, black people, black community jumping into true crime. I mean, we're a very big percentage of watching true crime. You know what I mean?
Consuming crime adjacent things and propelling crime stereotypes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Being a part of the other side, which is helping telling the story and figuring out what we can do to get proper justice. That's a big thing. I think
why I landed back on the point of Joe Budden needs to do something that will actually impact these cases, you know, to get some justice. That's the driving factor, and that's what the main thing I'm looking for out of the whole project.
For sure, me too. I want to see the same way you interrogate and you ask questions about things that's happening on a podcast and topics like that. You got to go super in on this, especially having the access of what Dick Wolf has, you know, the access he has to information. Advanced Local, those other two companies that he mentioned, those are companies that they deal in research in crime and in topics and storylines. So Joe Budden has almost unlimited access to the things that he needs to get to make this a powerful show.
Right.
That's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. That's what I'm saying.
Because while all those companies are thriving, a lot of these communities are falling apart through this crime. You know, and if there's any of the things in this world that we don't want to fall apart, it's our communities.
Right.
So that's straight up and down.
Last question from my side. What do you think he's putting on Patreon that he's not putting on the just original YouTube?
That is a good question. I don't watch anybody's Patreon. I don't know what goes on Patreon and what doesn't, other than what gets leaked to YouTube or what, you know, they put out to YouTube. That's kind of janky because they get, you know, people to pay for the Patreon for this exclusive thing, and then they just drop it for free. I'm not in anybody's practices or how they do the content. But maybe other than like some cursing or some interviews, some more in-depth interviews with the victims or the victims' families, maybe something like that. Some jail calls. I don't know.
Do you think they cover episodes that's only on Patreon that won't be on the original YouTube or other platforms?
I imagine. I would imagine. Yeah, that's what I thought a Patreon was for. Honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, whether those episodes be more salacious than the ones that, you know, we'll be able to freely, you know, enjoy, who knows? But let's run the numbers up.
Yeah, facts. I mean, the one thing I thought about, I'm like, you heard all of these great business dealings with, you know, Charlemagne, Breakfast Club, you know, Gilly, Wallow, you know, a lot of great things happening for them. And Joe Budden was just sitting here chilling, not saying nothing, giving congratulations, but inside his brain, he had this true crime idea being worked out. This about to be crazy. I ain't finna hold you. It's about to be crazy because I know how people feel about true crime. I'm just now jumping into it, but man, this is about to be insane, especially if you do something unique that the other true crime shows don't do. It's over. Sky's the limit for Joe Budden right now.
I'm more into slasher flicks than true crime.
Shout out to the slasher flicks too, man. Shout out to them for sure.
Let's do a record of the day.
Why not? Why not? We got one off like a day or two ago. Let's get it done, man.
Let's try and build it up. You know what it is, 1 to 10. I'm gonna shuffle.
Let's go 4. Let's go 4.
Number 4. Try and stop as soon as you say the number. 3. Number 4 is one of those ones that we hold near and dear in our heart. Yeah, an infinite, no skipper. It's what can we say about this one, man? Like I'm just really I don't know how much I've said about this album in my entire life.
Mm-hmm. No, that guy!
To the Wu-Tang, the 36 chamber.
As soon as I seen the glow in the corner, I'm like, yeah.
This is an original print. I believe my brother bought this.
Into the 36 chambers.
Wow, what is this? 92, 93? The credits, they like wrote the credits on top of each other. It's impossible to read this shit. Like, man, this is one
of the albums that changed hip hop. It changed hip hop, man.
Honestly, like, taught me a whole lot. Like, it taught me so much. Honestly, like, go, because I'll just be at a loss for words when I just start singing the damn record when people start talking.
The one thing about that album that stood out to me was how gritty it was. Like they had absolutely no intention of adding any light points in the album. No light points. Can it be also simple? As soulful as it sounds, it is a very, very intense record.
Yeah.
They're talking about people losing lives. They're talking about things not happening well. Everything. Even So Many Tears, the ending album, it's a full breakdown in the storyline about how one of his friends got shot. Like, yes, you have the lyrical styles, lyrical energy, that's there. But the other half of it is, if you really pay attention, it was almost like a moniker of how to live in New York. Like, bring the ruckus was a real thing. When you step into place, you better be ready to come with it. You know what I mean? Even Mysteries of the Chess Boxing, raw energy, the way that they pass the verses. This is the first time I'm hearing multiple artists doing 4 bars, 8 bars at a time. Come on, what we talking about?
It introduced so many styles into hip hop.
Right.
From meth to the RZA, like the archetype that he was, from the tag team duo that got so popular after Ghost and Ray.
Right.
The first record I heard was Method Man. On what was it? 88.9 or what was the title station everybody used to listen to? Mike Nardone, I think. Was that? It
was it might have been.
It was Method Man, and from then like immediately after that I heard Protect Your Neck, and it was like, oh, who are these motherfuckers? Like, that was crazy.
Mine was the other way around. I heard Protect Your Neck first, and then I heard Method Man. Because Protect Your Neck was actually they played it. It wasn't on the box. It was on an old school video channel in New York, and they was playing that first. You know what I'm saying? They was playing that first.
Yeah, God, I can recite most of this album right now.
For sure.
Literally.
What's my record that got that they got 2 versions? Seventh Chamber. Is the Seventh Chamber?
Yeah. Mike and body bags, and then
my rap style has the force to leave you lost like the Travis Shabazz. Murderous material made by a madman. It's the Mike record inspector, bad man from the come on, man. Come on, man. And depending so sorry to cut you off, but depending on how I felt was depending on which version I played. If I was more in a groovy mood, I play the first version. If I'm more in a slam dance, a gritty mood, I play the second version. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was it was the Seventh Chamber, part 1 and part 2. The skits is
classic.
Thanks, Wu-Tang.
Come on, man. Thank you. 36 Champs. I'm gonna have to go play that while I'm on my midday walk because it's coming up right now.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Have a good walk, man. You know, don't let this health thing fall apart. You know,
yeah,
you lose it.
Can't let it fall apart because you know things do fall apart for sure.
Polly Rob,
you already know what it is. Council Polly Rob, man. Frank 5D. We in 5D. You feel me? Man, make sure y'all follow us. Make sure y'all follow the rap scene. Make sure y'all follow Local Astronauts. Man, we getting right to it, man. We appreciate y'all. WORKLOAD.
Peace.